The first earning analysis that we're doing this morning is Prince Pipes. The company did come out with a pretty decent set of numbers for the fourth quarter. Nihar Chheda, Associate Vice President Strategy, Prince Pipes, is with us now. Nihar, thanks very much for joining in. I was just looking at numbers. Of course, year on year, it's a big bump up because last year, the third month, March, was pretty bad. The margin has improved even quarter on quarter. So now I'm looking at the Q on Q comparison. From 16, you've gone up to 19.1%. Tell us a little more about the sustainability of these numbers and how badly the current lockdowns have impacted you.
Sure. Thank you for having me on. I think a couple of drivers for margin for us. One, big one has been pricing power. With the uncertainty in the marketplace, the volatility in the raw material price, there has been a major shift towards big brands like Prince today. Because of which we have been enjoying a very strong pricing power for the past few quarters now. And also post our Lubrizol tie-up, we have seen a shift in our portfolio, which, building materials was around 66% of our overall portfolio, which now has moved to 69%. So a favorable product mix also has led to a superior margin profile. And of course, the operating leverage benefits that come in with it. As far as the current quarter is concerned, yes, of course, there is a national lockdown. And, we're not immune to the lockdown. So there has been a slowdown in sales. I think the only testimony is last year that, one tepid quarter does not necessarily mean one bad year. So we are keeping our hopes up.
Yes, but if you can give us more color, Nihar. The PVC prices have gone up. There is a limit to how much people can buy because of the slowdown impacting everyone's reserves. So give us some idea of how the first quarter, current quarter is shaping up for you. Do you think you will do lesser volumes, lower margins? Will all that be made up in subsequent quarters?
Yeah, it's tough to comment because there is obviously uncertainty in the marketplace, but I understand what you're saying. If I look at the first 45 days, I think the one big positive relative to last year has been the manufacturing plants are still up and running completely, which was not the case last year. We also have a smaller base because of the lockdown in April of last year. And as far as PVC prices are concerned, we have seen a slight softening in the past week. 4 rupees per kilo has been reversed, by the PVC resin manufacturers. PVC globally continues to be tight, but in India, because of the lockdown situation, there has been a slight reversal. So yeah, that's where we are.
Okay. So Nihar, how much of the price increase is a complete pass-through for you? Is the whole thing passed on? And what should we expect on the raw material inflation as we go forward?
So yes, we are a pass-through industry. At least the top 3 or 4 sort of big brands have been able to pass a very significant part of the increase in the raw material cost, which is why our quarter 4 margins continue to be robust and almost at all-time highs for Prince Pipes. So it has been a pass-through even at these elevated prices because of the market share gains that we have sustainably made over the past 7 to 8 quarters now. We have been enjoying a superior pricing power, like I said. And as a result of that, we have been able to pass on the prices completely.
Okay, well, I would only assume that at some point demand resists and just refuses to expand. But Nihar, just tell us a little bit about Telangana. When does it get into commercial production? And therefore, ballpark, if you can tell us, what is the volume or revenue increase you're expecting in 22 this year?
So Telangana plant, commenced commercial production in the March quarter itself. It's a very small capacity that we've started with. In the next 2 to 3 quarters, there will be a major ramp up in capacity at Telangana. This will be a total of 50,000 metric tons per annum of installed capacity, which takes my capacity up from 250 KT to now 300 KT. So it's going to be a 20% increase in the installed capacity for us. And we would have that incremental capacity in place to take advantage of any upswings in demand that could happen over the next 1 or 2 years.
That's what we're hoping. All right, we'll leave it at that, Nihar. We'll speak when things have calmed down a bit. Thank you very much for joining us. That's an optimistic conversation.